Hi, I'm Joe Markley, State Senator from Southington. I'm here at the Capitol building where I just came off the floor from the debate on the minimum wage. It's Thursday evening, just a little before 7 p.m., and the debate has just begun. As the ranking member of the Labor Committee, the lead Senate Republican, I was the first one to speak in response on the minimum wage, and I expressed my opposition to it. Obviously, I'm sympathetic to people that are trying to get by on a low salary, but I'm convinced myself that the only answer to that is a stronger economy that forces wages up. We can't legislate prosperity simply by telling people to pay people more. We've got to create a vibrant economy that makes demands for employment and that makes jobs profitable both for the employer and the employee. It's interesting to me that as I go around the district and as I talk to businesses, chambers of commerce, manufacturers who I love to visit, I hear over and over again, please don't put any more burdens on us. We don't need help from the government, but we'd ask you please to leave us alone. And yet up here in Hartford, we keep presuming that we can make decisions on behalf of the businesses of Connecticut, that somehow we know better than they do. I don't believe it. You know, I was raised with a father and an uncle who had a small manufacturing business together. I know how they struggled to make that business work, how they went through years of tough times before it was a profitable undertaking. But they knew what they were doing, and they didn't need the government telling them what to do. And again here on the question of the minimum wage, which I expect is going to pass the Senate this evening, it's a matter of the government telling business what to do. I think it's a mistake, and I'm opposed to it. Another bill that was voted on last night, or I should say early this morning, you might have heard about, down in the House, was a bill to give driver's licenses for illegal aliens, for people that are in the country without proper documentation, without being citizens. This again strikes me as the kind of bill that leaves the general public shaking its head. The polls show about 2/3 of the people in the state oppose it. To my mind, it doesn't really make sense. The answer is to control our borders, I believe, and to make citizens of the people that have come here and that want to stay here. I myself worked as a citizenship teacher, basically teaching El Salvadorans and other Central Americans the history of this great country so that they could pass their citizenship test. That was one of the most rewarding teaching jobs I ever had, although it didn't pay very much. But it was a delightful thing to talk about a history that I love deeply, heroes of this country and our founders, and to see people respond to it and to share in a vision of the dream that we have as Americans. That's the proper way to bring people into this culture and this society, the way that we've done it for generations. And I think we make a mistake by trying to find ways around that kind of provision. In any case, Thursday evening, this is probably the end of sessions for this week. We will be back at it on Tuesday of next week. The legislative session ends on June 5th, and we still have yet to be confronted the state budget. As I said before, a budget was passed out of the Appropriations Committee. I don't expect that's going to be the budget we vote on. We all know that negotiations are taking place between the governor and the Democratic legislative leadership. We also know that a certain number of more moderate Democratic legislators are considering crafting their own document. And where this is all going, none of us know. So I will be back to try to bring you an update on our situation and above all our budget situation next week. Shortly after session ends, I'll be starting another series of town hall meetings in the 5 towns I represent: Southington, Wolcott, Waterbury, Prospect, and Cheshire. So I'll also be talking to you about that. We'll be mailing out in the mail notices of that and emailing it to you as well. So keep that in mind. We'll have dates and places for you soon, and I hope to see you there. This is Joe Markley. Thank you very much.